What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel today. Hopefully you guys are doing well. And today, boys, we're going to be doing a club tour of my main account for FIFA 21, the Kyren Road to Glory. Now, I know that FIFA 21 isn't over 100% just yet. However, I really don't think that my account's going to change all too much between now and the start of FIFA 22. So I thought this would be a pretty appropriate time for me to go ahead and show you guys the cards that we've been able to get throughout the course of the year and what we've been able to achieve during FIFA 21. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video for today. If you do, don't forget to hit a big old thumbs up, and if you are new around here, don't forget to subscribe. And without further ado, let's go ahead and check out our FIFA 21 Ultimate Team. Starting off with the main screen, as you guys are able to see, we do have 950,000 coins, but more importantly, our record currently stands at 2,285 wins and 292 losses, which in my opinion is an incredible record. I think it's about 7 to 8 wins per loss, and I wouldn't be surprised by the end of the year if I push up to about a 2,300, 2,350 wins and about 300, 320 so losses. So that's kind of what our record was for FIFA 21. Absolutely incredible. I'm really happy with it. And I think we did really well in Weekend League as well. I think there was only 2 cases where I finished below Elite when I played out the full 30. And then besides that, every other Weekend League we've been able to finish in Elite tiers. There were at least 20 weekends where we finished in Elite 1 tiers. And then 1 Weekend League where we finished in a top 200, finished 30-0 back in December. And I think I played all my games in one sitting, or at least 22 of the games in one sitting, which was really tiring. But to get that one for this year, I'm not usually a top 200 player, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now, one final thing before we start looking at some players in the club, we did finish on a transfer profit of 26 million. I think this will probably have been higher, but I did sell on some players for quite a big of a loss throughout the course of the year. But for someone who doesn't really trade all too much, who runs the road to glory, I'm pretty happy with 26 mil. I don't know how that is comparatively, but to be honest, I've been able to afford everything I want to afford, so there's no real problems for me. Alright, lads, so I think it's about time that we show you some of the players that we've acquired throughout the duration of the Kyren Road to Glory. And what a better way to start off than by looking at the meta squad, which is basically the team that I would use in a competitive scenario, basically my best playing team. I think the only player that you can't really see here is, of course, the Moments R9. And this card is a card that I really didn't think I'd be able to get throughout the duration of this year. He was 50 mil extinct for a long time. He really only came down to 8 or 7 mil in the last couple weeks, and I did his SBC for about 2.5 million coins, so they did really well in the SBC, and it's been a pleasure being able to try him out and use him. As you guys can see, 36 games, almost 100 goal contributions. Absolutely nuts card. I really enjoy him. But this is the team that I probably would play. Obviously there needs to be some position changes, but this is how I would probably play it to start off. And then in game, a few players would switch, probably Mbappe, and I would say maybe Ronaldo wide with Neymar and R9 at strikers. And yeah, crazy squad. I think if you wanted to, you could probably switch in a few players here there, depending if you want to play a more possession style. Messi could come in easily for Mbappe, and then also on top of that, depending on what you prefer, Varane could come in for Eden Militao. I think you could probably replace Marcos Llorente with Paredes, depending if you need that skill moves. And I personally prefer Edison over Oblak. I actually really rated the 93 rated Road to the Final Oblak, but something about this team this season is just a bit off, and maybe it's with the boosted cards. But Edison, I think, is probably the best keeper in this game this year, and yeah, I probably would start him over Oblak. But for chemistry reasons, that's there. I don't think it actually makes that much of a difference besides just the goalkeeper chemistry. And then finally, also on top of that, I do think that this Alex Telles card is probably not the best left back in the game. I really thought that we were gonna get a Footies Mendy at some point this year, and he definitely would have been the best left back in the game. However, they never really dropped that, and I think then my best left back in the game this year would probably fall to Alphonso Davies. But of course, he's very hard to link into squads, so that is a big issue. Moving over to this squad, and obviously the chemistry is a bit of a shambles, but I've laid it out like this so you guys can see all the players. This is what I would like to call my club icons, my favorite cards of the year. And starting up the top, we've got none other than the 99 rated first owner Festival Football Summer Stars CR7. And yeah, we got this card untradeable during Summer Stars, 160 games, 245 goals, and 117 assists. This was the first year I've ever packed a Ronaldo. I've been playing foot, I think, since 13 or 14, and this is the first year I've ever packed a CR7, and it's crazy to me that I have this card. We actually packed 2 this year, the first of which was the gold version at the start of the game and kind of kick-started the road to glory. It propelled me to Elite 1s at the start of the year. And then obviously we sold him right before Team of the Year so we could afford another guy in the team. But yeah, we did have this card at the end of the year because we packed him later on. So really happy to have him in the club. And this card will stay in my club forever. It's never going away. I'm not going to do the Man U version of it just because I think 4-star week from Faster week is very similar this year, especially on Ronaldo. And I can't really justify the 2.5 million coin budget or price tag that the SBC has. So that's kind of my rationale. But of course, we did sell the gold Ronaldo at the start of the year. And the reason for that was because we wanted to go ahead and pick up this boy. Team of the Year, Kylian Mbappe. This right here, I would say, is the king of the Kyren Road to Glory this year. And I think it was last year with his foot birthday card, but this card was absolutely just nuts. I bought him just before Team of the Year ended, and he cost me, of course, 7 million coins, and of course he's dropped a lot over time, but I've never sold this card. This card's absolutely crazy for me. 1,040 games, 1,700 goals and 900 assists. Like, that is just nuts. And yeah, this card won me so many games. Absolutely carried me throughout that February to like March, April, May sort of period, and he was incredible. And I honestly have no regrets purchasing this card. It was of course a big thanks also to an informed pack pull Neymar that we were able to afford this card. But this was just one, I believe, of 5 Team of the Years that we did buy during Team of the Year, and of course there are 3 more that are already in this team, and I've got Neuer in here as well because we did sell off Neuer, and I don't really rate Neuer all too much anymore nowadays, but the Team of the Year one was really good for me, but I honestly prefer the Edison card instead. But the 3 other Team of the Years are in here that haven't left the squad since, first of which is going to be Virgil van Dijk, the 96 rated Team of the Year. 2.6 million coins I spent on this man. That is just nuts. That is so ridiculous. But he's played 938 games for the club. He was an absolute warrior for so many of those games. And obviously there's a lot more boosted center backs now. But I really highly rate this card. This card is so good. And then also on top of that, to partner him, we did have our first owner pack pulled untradeable Trent Alexander-Arnold. 896 games for the club. An absolute beast as well. I honestly think still one of the best right backs in the game. I know a lot of people don't rate him. And maybe not at this time of the year. I think definitely Marcus Llorente's probably eclipsed him, but he's been so good for this entirety of the year, and I think a lot of people didn't really rate him throughout the course of the year, but I really rated him. I thought he was really good, and no regrets of buying him. And then finally, the card which I think probably is still the best left back in the game because of its attacking ability, it is none other than the Team of the Year, Alphonso Davies. I didn't get this card fresh. I actually bought it a bit later after Team of the Year, but yeah, this card is unreal. 758 games for the club. He is so good. I used him as a left mid in a 3-5-2 for a lot of my games, so that's why he's definitely got a higher goal and assist contribution. But yeah, 4-star I think really makes a card. I think Chilwell and Alex Tellers both have 3-star, so this guy really stands up above them, and I paid 1.86 mil for at the time. He's obviously a lot cheaper now, but he was really good for me. I really enjoyed him, and yeah, definitely one of the cards I have to say was a highlight of this year. Now, of course, we do have to talk about the 2 other big pack pulls in this account. The first of which, of course, is going to be the Team of the Season 98 rated Lionel Messi. I actually packed this card twice, but yeah, I've got this one untradeable, and the other one was tradable, so I sold that one off. But 318 games for the club, 388 goals, and 325 assists. Unfortunately, I don't play with him anymore because we've got the PSG 5-star skill moves version. However, this card is absolutely incredible. I really enjoyed when I played with him, and yeah, he was just an absolute beast. And then also our other big pack pull from the Icon Swaps 3 Icon Attacker player pick, we managed to get ourselves Moments Gullit, which I've never ever packed a Gullit before, and somehow we managed to get the Moments version this year. Our pack this year has just been absolutely crazy, and yeah, I can't believe that we have this card on our account from a pack. Obviously, he is an SBC now, but to pack this card was just nuts. I will say once again, I said it in the review, but I don't think this is the best version of Hulk that we've ever seen because the left-click dribbling just isn't that responsive with bigger players this year. But he is still incredibly good, and for me personally, he goes into my team, and then I gotta find out who I'm gonna partner with him. So that's kind of the deal with Hulk. And then finally, to wrap it all up, for at least the starting lineup, we got 3 more players. Neymar this year, I've played with so many games. This version, specifically, I haven't played all too much, but I did have a gold version of my club that I accidentally put into an SBC. That card had, I think, 1,070 games on it, so a bit of a shame that I've done, because I like to have those sentimental cards. But we did buy this card. We bought the team of the season for 9 mil, and then we sold it, and then we bought this version. And I personally think that this is the best attacker this year. I think his dribbling plus the shot power plus the 5-star, 5-star, and the unique animations. You can't go wrong with Neymar. You just can't go wrong with Neymar. He's so crazy. Also on top of that, boys, we do have Ronaldo Sanchez. You guys remember at the start of the year, we have the 82 rated inform version of this card. I bought it for 60k, sold it for like 300, but Ronaldo Sanchez has just been absolutely crazy. This version hasn't got too many games in the club because I really haven't played with it too much, but the other versions, I absolutely used the crap out of them, and they were so good. And then also on top of that, I'm going to wrap up at least the starting 11 with Mr. Sergio Ramos. Of course, he's also leaving his club just like Messi to PSG, so a bit sad to see both those cards go to PSG and not be at their actual like Barcelona, Real Madrid clubs anymore, but that's just kind of the way football works. But this card, the end of an era, probably for me the best center back in the game. I've said this before, I'll say it again. He is just so responsive, great in the tackle, essentially nothing wrong. And I said for a long time that I thought Virgil was it, but then I tried out the Sergio Ramos version and I just thought to myself, yeah, nah, he has to be the best center back in the game. So cheers to EA for giving us this card. This was an absolute pain to play against, but a pleasure to play with. And yeah, those are kind of like my favorite cards for at least the starting 11. Obviously, Neuer and Edison could interchange just because of when I use them throughout the year. Now, also on top of the boys, we do have a few players on the bench and reserves that I'm going to briefly go over, but these are some of the players I've really enjoyed throughout the year. Suarez, first of all, incredible to see him back with 4-star skills on weak foot. I don't really like that EA butchered him, but this version of this card was absolutely incredible, so I really enjoyed him. Also on top of that, we do have, I think, one of probably the biggest memes on the account this year, but also just a really good player. Michael Owen, all of his versions, I played with his 86, his 91, and his prime icon moments. This card was actually surprisingly really good. I bought his 86 as a meme back in the day because I used it as an icon investment for icon SBCs, but obviously they didn't require icons and they kind of just dropped, so I kept them, I used them, and it was pretty decent. So when the prime came around, I ended up doing that, and then obviously recently we just packed the moments. But as you guys can see, we have 78 games, 96 goals, and 46 assists with the card. Also on top of that, we got a 29-1 with this card, so I don't know how that happened, but hey, there's Michael Owen. He did bits for us on the club. Happy to have him. This FUT birthday Royce was absolutely incredible, and you guys can see the goal contributions. He's really good. If you played him, you know how good he is. But Royce, one of my favorite cards in FIFA just generally, and to see him get this level of card with the 5-star skills, really sick to see. And then also on top of that, boys, we do have about 4 really good midfielders I use throughout the duration of the year. I would say that Goretzka and De Jong would be the ones I use throughout team of the season, of course, because of the team of the season cards. But the combination of the two of them, they were so good. De Jong's a lot better defensively, but Goretzka, he definitely is something a bit different, but really top tier midfielder. And then also on top of that, these are kind of more team of the year era cards. We did do the SBC Curtis Jones. He was really good for us throughout the year. And then I don't have the player of the month version of this card, the 92 version. That was a card that was the big icon for us. I did that card during team of the year, but we do have the team of the year version because I just bought it recently, and he's really good. But I put the player of the month version through an SBC, so that was kind of the situation with that. And then finally, to wrap it off, just a few more players. We do have St. Juice Day. I did this card right before team of the year because I was really lacking a Dutch center back, and this kind of worked really well with Alphonso Davies as well. So a bit overpriced SBC wise, but with the 5 skills out of the back, actually a really usable card. And then also on top of that, we do have Quadrado, which at the start of the year, because I packed Ronaldo, we were using him to link up the rule breaker version, and then of course I had to do the footies version because this is the best version of this card, and 5-star 4-star on this card is nuts. I really enjoy this version of the card, so I'm happy I've done that. And then I would say probably one of the biggest pack pulls at the start of the year that changed the club so much. This guy's gonna have a lot of games for me, I know that for a fact, and that is none other than Baby Cantona. Of course, a new icon to this year. but he has got 5-star skills, 4-star weak foot. He was incredible before the step over patch that nerfed the step overs. I think obviously as the game went on, he just became a bit more clunky, but he definitely secured for us a lot of dubs. And I was running CR7's gold version as well as also Baby Cancer at the start of the game up top, and they both did incredibly well for me. And then finally, of course, we do have to talk about one last player. It is none other than Gold Mendy that I've had for a long time, and I kind of wish I did this with Neymar as well. I wish I had the Neymar still. 826 games for the club for this Mendy, and yeah, what can you say, boys? It's Mendy, so that's kind of the deal. Now, of course, we did also have the Silver Beast, Silver Stars, Silver Lounge throughout the course of FIFA 21, and this was honestly one of the most fun modes that I enjoyed throughout the course of the game. So GGCA, they absolutely killed it. It was a bit of a fun with a bit more casual as well, and you got to get some really good cards throughout the course of it. Some standouts definitely were, I personally think at the start of the game, the Sambia. I had 128 games with him, but also on top of that, we had Vidra at the start. I think all of the FUT birthday cards were absolutely incredible. This Juan Jesus and Indica card was incredible as well. And then Morgan, when he came out, I think he was like a 12k SPC for a Flash SPC. But he was really good at the start as well. So happy that we've been able to play with these. I thought the silver mode was great, and I hope they do it for FIFA 22 because I really enjoyed it. Moving onwards, this is indeed our full icon team, and I think the only players in the starting lineup that aren't from an SBC that we completed was Rio Ferdinand and I think also Gullit. And of course we recently packed Eusebio in a pack opening. You guys would have seen that. But yeah, this is our full icon moments team, and then we've also got some icon primes and babies on the bench. But it just goes to show that I think EA really have done a great job at making these cards accessible. I do think it was definitely very late on in the cycle to release something like a Moments R9 in August with 27 squads costing 4 million coins. I think it's pretty unreasonable because you really don't get that much time to play with the card. I would have liked the cards to be released maybe about 2 to 4 weeks earlier, so at least I get about 2 months to play with these sort of level of cards. But hey, look, I can't complain really too much because I do have the cards in the likes of 99 Pele, 97 Ronaldo, Prime Moments Cruyff, and Dino, and Gullit, and Vieira. It's so crazy to have this, and I run a Road to Glory. I run a no money spent account, and I know it's obviously a more top-end version of it, but hey, we're able to get these level of cards just by playing and grinding the game. So kudos to EA. The only thing I'll say for next year, I hope you guys release them earlier so people can try and play with them for a lot longer. But hey, GG's EA, you did a really good job here. And the final score that we're going to be looking at today, boys, is of course my full red team. This is just the reds that I've been able to get throughout FUT Champs this year that I've been able to keep. And I've got to be honest, for the number of reds I honestly think are very poor, I don't think we actually did too bad this year because we got cards like Sancho and De Jong, we got Suarez, Salah, Ben Yedder, as well as also a few other top tier cards. So I think we did pretty well. The only thing I'll say though is I do think that EA kind of messed up this year when it come to the reds, because I think they should have put Summer Stars cards when footies came into packs, because it kind of would have kept FUT Champs a bit more alive. But hey, that's just kind of the decision they decided to make. But I can't complain too much with our reds. And obviously we didn't get any of the top tier boys, but I think we did pretty well just overall. And finally, boys, I just want to take you guys through a full collection of the cards in the Kyren Road to Glory. These are sorted on special and then priced from high to low. So you see all the tradable cards that we've got, and then you'll see the untradables. I'm pretty sure all these cards that I've got tradable are bought. So these are the cards that I've actually picked up that I've wanted to have for the end of the year. And then you'll see some of the pack pulls later on and the untradeable cards that we have. But while we go through all these cards, I do want to just talk to you guys and say a big thank you for the support over the past year, whether it be on Twitch or also YouTube. You guys have been absolutely incredible for the support this year, and it's definitely been a level that I haven't expected. I know that we've been streaming on Twitch and we've been averaging anywhere from like 50 to 70 viewers in August, September, which is something that just doesn't happen, I feel, at this time of the year. But you guys have been absolutely incredible with the support on the streams, and of course also on the YouTube as well. I think this has been a very eye-opening year for me on YouTube. I used to do a lot of, if you guys know the channel a lot, I used to do a lot of Road to Glory content, where for me personally, I've just been, here's another episode of the Road to Glory, this is what we're doing. And then I think I transitioned a bit later on in the year to content where there is a unique thumbnail and title every time. It's not really part of a series, but if you follow the whole channel, it is realistically part of a series. And there's player reviews and pack openings and stuff like that. That's a transition that I've needed to make on YouTube that I haven't really done, and I was gonna hold off until the end of FIFA 22 to go ahead and do that, but I ended up deciding not to do that, and just do it halfway through FIFA 21. And you guys would have seen that I actually ended the episodes of the Road to Glory halfway through the year, and I think it was for the best, because for me personally, the reason why I stopped the Road to Glory back in FIFA 18, I believe, is because I didn't enjoy doing that style of content anymore, and I thought I could do it going into FIFA 21, and I realized to myself, nah, it wasn't for me. It's not something that I like doing anymore. So the new style of content that I'm bringing to you guys more recently, this is what I enjoy doing. I hope to keep on bringing it to you guys in FIFA 22. I'm really looking forward to the new year and to what the new game offers. And what I will say on top of that as well, the one regret that I do have is we have this insane club. I've got 19 pages of special cards, and we're still going, and I just didn't bring you guys enough content this year. There are so many cards I would love to do player reviews for and different squad builders on, and that's something I do really regret this year, is that I just didn't give you guys enough of that content. So coming into FIFA 22, that's going to be a big goal of mine. I'm very heavily focused on bringing you guys some more top tier YouTube content. So once again, if you are new around here, don't forget to subscribe, and yeah, I can't wait to produce some good content for you guys in FIFA 22, and I'm kind of excited to see what the year holds for us just generally. But yeah, thank you guys so much for the support over the year, just overall. It's been a nuts year of FIFA 21, and I can't wait to see what FIFA 22 holds. I also just wanted to mention as well, this card right here, Kleiber, I think he needs a special mention himself. This card's probably one of the most infuriating cards we've ever had in FIFA release. He was so annoying to play against back in the day, and he was like 70,000 coins. It was so ridiculous for this level of showdown card. So nuts. But yeah, boys, you guys would have obviously seen the cards. I'm not going to go through them all in detail because we don't really have the time for it. But that is basically my Kyren Road to Glory for this year. The entirety of the club. So many crazy special cards in here. And once again, I just don't think I brought you guys the level of content, or at least on YouTube, that I would want to with the cards that we have. So that's definitely going to be a goal for me next year. I don't know if I'm going to have this level of club, because I'm going to be buying and selling a lot more cards. I'm probably not going to be as stingy with my coins as I normally am, because the goal for me in FIFA's previously has just been, I want to go ahead and build the best ultimate team that I can possible, and I've proven to myself this year that I can do that. Like, we've gotten everyone basically. There's only a few moments that we're missing in Maldini, Zidane, and Maradona. But yeah, besides that, I've got basically everyone I want. I think the only main special card I'm missing is Vinicius Jr., which I could buy right now if I really wanted to. But what I want to have for FIFA 22 as a legacy is my portfolio of content, showing you guys just a whole bunch of different scenarios with all the different cards, and hopefully providing you guys with some good content. So anyway, boys, that's going to do it for the video today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed looking through the Kyren Road to Glory. Absolutely stacked club this year. I can't believe the level of club we have, but we look forward now to FIFA 22. The new game is almost here. Get ready, boys, because I'm excited for it. And anyway, catch you guys next time. Have a good one. Much love and peace.
Whenever your heart is broken, don't ever forget you're golden. I will find the light in your soul.